Hello students, greetings from Saraswati Sisukunj. This is Applied English and I am going to have a discussion on part 1 and also students this is a listening test I am going to give you and the listening test is here and this is part 3. Okay students, the explanation of part 1 and for your assessment task I am going to give part 3 and students then you need to give your test. Okay, students, I have written here question number 1 to 5 and 6 to 10 that I am going to discuss. Before that, students, for your listening task, I am going to play a listening track for you. Students, write your answers in the answer sheet and you will come to know, you need to recheck how many answers that you have got correct. Students, I am going to do listening along with you. I will write my answers of part 1 here. And then you can just check your answers out of 10 how much you have got. Students, now without delay, I am going to play a listening track of part 1. And students, start listening, write your answers and just you can recheck. After listening students, I will have a discussion with you what answer should be of question number 1 to 5 and 6 to 10. Students, the listening track is here. Start listening.
You will hear John and Joan talking about their new school. Look at questions 1 to 5 on the form now. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Hi, John. How's it going?
Pretty good. What about you?
Terrific. So what do you think of our new school?
A1, man. Much better than the old one. In fact, I'm going to write an article for the London Times about it.
Really?
Yeah. Have you got half an hour? Maybe you should give me some ideas.
If you buy me a coffee.
No problem. How do you think I should start? Introduce the headmaster?
Why don't you compare it with the old one? You know, the buildings, laboratories, language lab, computer equipment, fitness center, pool, stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I mean, the old one was pretty bad, and the new headmaster seems like a great guy. Actually, all the teachers I've met seem pretty decent.
Same here. The French teacher is really cool, and he's actually French, not like Smith at the old place. He sounded less French than even you do.
Hey, my accent is perfect.
Dream on. But why don't you start with what the headmaster told us school this morning, you know, his ideas on education and things?
Yeah, I liked that. None of that stuff about how we must study hard for our futures in the honor of the school. There's no free lunch, that type of thing. He sounds pretty progressive. What did he say? If we teachers succeed in stimulating your minds, stimulating you to ask questions and think critically, then you will discover the joy of learning, enjoy your studies, and therefore work hard.
Hey, what a memory. Those are his exact words. Do you remember what he said next?
Something about it's good to keep fit.
Yeah. Do you remember him mentioning those experiments showing that after half an hour of exercise, our brains are much more creative for hours?
And puts you in a better mood. Did you see the fitness center?
Look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen to more of the conversation between John and Joan and answer questions 6 to 10.
I went early this morning for a workout. Fantastic. Olympic-sized pool, not like that tiny 25-meter thing we had before. And the gym has absolutely everything. I counted 10 exercise bikes, some rowing machines, really good ones. Are you gonna go?
I've been every other day for 2 weeks. Feel great. Hey, maybe I should interview some of the teachers and students for my article.
Of course you should. Wow, just thought of it. I'm doing a video project. Maybe I could film the interviews.
Makes sense. and I could take a few photos. Maybe the newspaper would use 1 or 2 of them. The main hall is awesome. Really light, lots of windows, and a huge stage, big enough for a 60 or 70-person orchestra.
Did you see Mr. Clark, the old music teacher? I think he's the only teacher here from the old school.
He is, and he was the only decent teacher. I met him in the hall. He's really happy, planning to double the size of the school orchestra. It's great.
Okay, let's plan what we're going to do.
That is the end of part 1.
Hello students, I hope you have done listening. You can see the questions that I have written, question number 1 to 5, and students, question number 6 to 10 that I am going to discuss with you later on. Now students, always we need to keep in mind that what are the things, instructions is really important. Now write one word and or a number in each line. So we need to underline, yes, we need to underline these things. It can be a number or it can be a word. New school discussion. Now when you have heard this conversation, the conversation between Joe and John, they are talking about their new schools. And John says that I am going to write an article, and he is talking to Joe and they are talking about the new school. And also they are talking about the article that John is going to write. General comment, better than the old school. Okay. The first one, teacher, the first question is a nice one, a nice person. When the conversation continues, in the conversation you can hear that Joe and John, they are talking about the old school, and they are also talking about the person. They say that yes, Smith was really a good person. Now they are talking about Smith, but who is that? That a headmaster. Okay, so what is the answer? The answer is headmaster. Headmaster is a nice person, but they did not say that headmaster, but they say the person was really good. And they are talking about others are more likely to be decent. The French teacher seems to be more likely than Smith. In the old school, the Smith was not sounded like French. That John Drew sounded really better than Smith. So what is the answer? Smith is the answer, and he did not much sound about the French language. But Joe says that really you are very much familiar with the language and you sound really great like French than Smith. So what is the answer? The answer is Smith. Students, if you are done listening very attentively, you can get the correct answer of it. And they are also talking about that I am going to write about an article in the London Times. And what are the things that I can keep in mind? And Joe says that the old school library, sports center, computer lab, computer equipments, these are the things or these stuff that you can mention in it. The school principals talk mention that studying, enjoyment, working hard of the students. So students, what is the answer? What answer should be? The answer should be, they are talking about education. Education. How? Because they are saying that the school principals talk mention to education, studying, enjoyment, working hard of students. Okay students, the other things on how to dash a book, how to keep you in a prayer. So it would be keep. What is the answer? The answer would be keep. The other things on how to keep good, going to gym, and you can really exercise. When you really exercise, you can have a better concentration. So they are talking about gym, exercise and all. So the other things on how to keep a good shape which helps. Okay, so they are talking about exercise and the correct answer would be keep. Here you have a better. You have a better of what? Better of mood. Yes. So I write here mood. Students, when you do exercise, it helps you to concentrate in a better way, and you can be in a better mood as well. So they are talking about exercise, gym and all. This is the question number 1 to 5 we have completed, students. Very easy. This is part 1. You can get 10 out of 10. only you need to do a listening very attentively, then only it is able to get. Okay. Students, now I am going to discuss question number 6 to 10, and I hope students you have understood this question number 1 to 5 of part 1 applied English listening. Now I am going to have discussion of question number 6 to 10. Students, now I am going to discuss question number 6 to 10. I have already finished question number 1 to 5, now it is 6 to 10. Students, I hope you have checked question number 1 to 5, and I also hope that you have got all 5 of 5. Now, I discuss question number 1, 6 to 10. Fitness center, other issues. Okay, the dash is bigger than the one at old school. Then gym, the gym includes everything. Okay, now what they are talking about? They are talking about pool is bigger than. Okay, the pool that they had in the old school and the pool that they have in the new school is completely different. Joe says that in the old school we had only 25 pool, but now it's a big one and it can really you can enjoy in it, and it's the bigger one. So what is the answer? The answer is pool. And the second question, students, as you hear, that is question number 7. The gym includes everything: cycling and dash machine. And what it includes? Cycling and rowing. Cycling and rowing, that includes in the gym. The other issues. What are the other issues they are talking about? That Joe and John are talking about the other issues. Filming the teachers and students interviews for their dash video project. Now students, John says that I think it would be really better for my article that I should discuss with the students and the teachers about the articles. So what is the answer? The answer would be what article? There he is talking about article. The answer would be article. He said that I would like to discuss with the other teachers and students about my article that I am going to publish in London Times. Video project at the main dash, the video project main, and John says that really we had a nice or awesome hall. So here the answer is hall. Awesome hall that they had in the old school. They saw Mr. Clark as their former teacher of music subject. Former teacher of the music. Okay. So students, they saw Mr. Clark as their former teacher. They also saw the former teacher of music teacher or subject of music. So students, see, I have completed question number 6 to 10 of listening part 1 of applied English. Students, for your assessment task, I would like to give part 3, and then you can write your answers and you can check that out of 10 how much you have got. I hope students once again that you have understood the topic of listening part 1, question number 1 to 10. And for your assessment, students, I always give, and that you need to do a practice, and when you practice you can get 10 out of 10.
Part 2.
You will hear a student housing officer giving a talk to a group of university students concerning dormitory renovations. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15.
After months of discussion and planning, we are very pleased to announce that the renovations will be made to the west wing of the university dormitories. Now, with this good news comes some bad, as there will be some disruptions to your living environment. But we think once you hear our plans, you're going to be very happy with what we will be doing. Firstly, if you'll just take a moment to look at the plans we gave you as you came in. Firstly, on the eastern side of the wing, you'll notice that there will be a change in the existing front entrance. It will be removed to another location on the opposite side of the wing. I'm sure that a lot of you will be glad for that, as our present configuration didn't allow for enough lighting. With the renovations will also come the removal of the existing staircase, but not the column beside it. Now, as we move west, we come to the location of the new security entrance. As with the old one, there will still be a need for some new lighting, so we're planning to install a number of overhead lights, which will make entering and exiting safer for you all. It'll be at this new security entrance that the new wall will be built to a 2-story height. This gives you an idea of the size of the construction. Overall, the width will be around 6 meters, with the overall length being around 10. Which I'm sure many of you are going to really enjoy. More room for all of you living in the West Wing. Are there any questions?
Before you listen to the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 16 to 20. Now listen carefully and answer questions 16 to 20.
Now, as I mentioned, there will be some issues we will have to overcome regarding the renovations. The first will be relocating some of you to new dormitories. 30 students will be moving for a total of 6 weeks. Now, of those who will be moving, you will be distributed to 3 other temporary locations, the North, South, and East dorm wings. 10 students will be relocated to each wing. This means that some of you are going to need to get packing. Don't worry about your new location. We're doing all we can to make your new temporary dorms as comfortable as possible. In fact, as I speak, we're making steps to ensure that you have study desks, lamps, and computer facilities, and all of the other facilities you require to successfully continue on with your studies. We're even repainting several of the rooms in the preparation for your arrival. The changes to your dorms will be starting within a week. If you have any problems, don't hesitate to contact my office. Now, I'm sure some of you have questions. I'm happy to answer them now.